Yeah, we're good. And welcome everybody to today's NISA soccer action between the Maryland Bobcats and Chattanooga FC. Third place club will be hosting the first place club today. We thank you for joining us wherever you might be on this fine Wednesday evening. My name is Max Balpuff. Thank you so much for making us part of your Wednesday night entertainment. Let's meet today's starting lineups first for the visiting Chattanooga FC, led by Coach of the Month of June, Rod Underwood. Starting in goal tonight will be Jean Antoine wearing number 15 and a orange keeper kit, right down to white boots. On defense today in a 4-4-2 formation, Aiden Bowers, the team captain, Richard Dixon, Joseph Perez, and Anatoly Prepelita. At the midfield line will be four among them: Luis Garcia Sosa, Alex McGrath, Kelvin Mwape, and Colin Stripling. And at forward, the familiar names of Marcus Nagelstad and the less than familiar name of Jesus Ibarra, one of two changes from the last time Chattanooga played Maryland at this park. Maryland today, Alex Cal leads the team out with Alex Sutton. He'll be playing in number 1 today. Sutton today so far has been a starter for 11 matches, has kept 3 clean sheets for the Bobcats, 2 against Flower City and 1 against Club de Leon. On defense in a 4-3-3 formation, it'll be Philip Burnett wearing the number 34, Mohamed Conte wearing the number 5, Richard Forca wearing the number 15, and James Filerman wearing the number 13. At the midfield, Manuel Gonzalez, team captain Jocelyn Pusayan, and Andrew Wivel. And at forward, it'll be Abdu Yam, Malik Tom, and Darwin Espinal. Tonight's contest should be an interesting one. Chattanooga enters today the last undefeated team in NISA with 9 wins, 3 draws, and no losses. They come into today with 30 standings points as a result. Maryland comes in at number 3 in the NISA table of 9 teams, +7 goal differential, and a 6-1-6 record for a point total of 19. Maryland will not be able to advance into the second tier spot after Albion San Diego's victory against Michigan Stars put them 5 points ahead of fourth place Michigan. Michigan will be the next team Maryland faces in the NISA schedule. As the teams get set, Maryland will be moving from left to right as we get things kicked off here to start. And it looks like Maryland will start with the ball, and Chattanooga in their visiting whites will start off of the ball and going from right to left into the sunlight. Your officials for today's game: Stephen Foster will be calling fouls and calling for free kicks. Richie Reyes and Cole Peasley have the duties on the lines, and Ala Stepanov has the duties as the fourth official, calling for substitutions and for stoppage time. Final hugs and good wishes have been issued for everybody as Jean Antoine finally gets back into his crease. A lacrosse tournament was here over the weekend. That's why you might be able to see some divots in the turf and some interesting lines if you're watching the screen closely. Don't worry, it's fair. There's a divot in Sutton's crease and there's a divot in Antoine's. Ball's been kicked off. Let's have some fun here from the soccerplex. Mohamed Conte over for Philip Burnett. Maryland just getting things kicked off here. Malik Tom hands it back, and Wivel can't chase this one down. A header is met, and looks like it's off of Maryland last, as Perez throws it in and gets it right back to him. Dixon, notable by his captain's armband, and it's turned over as Jocelyn Pusayan poked it all the way back. Prepelita left a teed up chance there for Antoine. Forca wins the header, falls for Espinal. Espinal tied for first in the league in goals with Marcus Nagelstad of Chattanooga. We'll see how those two strikers go about their offensive capabilities today. Gonzalez puts one into the top of the area, unable to turn that one into offensive opportunity. Header ends up falling eventually to the feet of Luis Garcia Sosa, who will put it back for the Moldovan Prepelita. Bowers back for Prepelita. And the two center backs now just surveying their options as Maryland gets set into their midfield formation. This is something Chattanooga had a difficult time with in the first game here at the Soccerplex against Maryland. They had a tough time breaking through this midfield in that first half. It ended up going scoreless as a long ball finally comes through, going for the feet of Jesus Ibarra. Ibarra shaking and baking around Burnett, bounces off Burnett and bounces back for Ibarra. First couple minutes of action, we thank you for joining us. Ball falls to the top of the penalty area, and turned back for Dixon. Now for Perez. Ibarra surveys his options. Falls for McGrath. Perez cutting through, looking for Ibarra. Offside flag stays down. Perez couldn't find Nagelstad, picked off by Pusayan. Pass gets deflected, and it falls instead for Chattanooga. The table toppers Anissa have made a habit of scoring first in this young season. As it falls for Nagelstad, his first touches of the match are a turnover right to Pusayan, and Maryland now cannot get out fast enough. Dixon. Ibarra. Keeping things settled at the left end of the attack. Ibarra cannot get it around Burnett for finding a friendly foot, and instead Filerman will poke it out for a corner. Maryland is one of two teams so far this season to have scored first against Chattanooga Football Club in their matches. As now Chattanooga sets up for their first corner of the match here in the 3rd minute. Nagelstad is well marked by Pusayan as it ends up going to him on that nice little short play. Bowers poking it back again. Looking for Stripling. Now they set up on the right side of the attack. Espinal is back in defense, as is Filerman, and a foul is awarded. Head contact is the signal from our match official, Stephen Foster. And I tend to agree with him. That did the arm look like it came up into the head and neck area, and that's something you can't do. So now a shorter corner kick as Chattanooga has a good chance here to go one to the good early on. Alex Cow shouting out instructions from his technical area, making sure everybody has their man. Two men stand over the ball. Give and go here, all the way out, and it will roll for a throw in, last off of Chattanooga's foot. So that one did not go as planned for the visitors. Burnett quickly into Conte. Conte up and Conte out over the outstretched foot of Perez, and it will end up falling in front of the Bobcats bench for a throw. Perez, identifiable by his blue hair, will come to his throw-in position, and a hard foul. Pusayan concedes possession, knocking down number 33, Alex McGrath. You may hear me call his name a lot here tonight. McGrath is known for his physical play. He is tied for first in the league in yellow cards with 5, as Dixon sends a man forward. Maryland's midfield trap has been broken through, but Filerman pokes it away on a long dribble. A well done play by the Maryland defense, as a foul here gives possession back to the Bobcats after an errant pass looked like it was going to be a turnover for the visitors. A new ball comes in as Richard Forka looks like he'll be the one to stand over it. Free kick was judged to have not been taken correctly, so Maryland has to try another play. Instead of going to Gonzalez, they end up going for Pusayan. Pusayan, bow over for Philip Burnett, chests it off of him, falls for Gonzalez. Wivel, behind Burnett, runs to get it. Looking for some friendly feet, cannot find Malik Tom to get control. McGrath keeps it in at the line. Wivel, that's here for Yam. Yam cannot get the pass over for Espinal. Eilman in from his position and wins possession according to the rules, I guess, and that shot goes well wide. And it looks like they don't rule it a foul, so they're going to give the goal kick to Jean-Antoine. The Haitian keeper definitely leads the league in clean sheets. He's only allowed 3 goals this season, 9 shutouts of opposing offenses on the year for Chattanooga. And Pusayan unable to win the ball away from Luis Garcia Sosa, but it bounced off of Chattanooga's player last, so Maryland gets the throw to keep possession. Forka finding Conte. Nagelstad forces him to make a decision, ends up going forward with it. Gonzalez draws two defenders, cuts to his right, finds Burnett. The one-time Liberty Flame finds it over for Wivel. Wivel slides it through, and Malik Tom could not get one through. McGrath, surrounded by three Bobcats, able to make the pass. Perez gets around Wivel to the middle for McGrath. McGrath gets it away from Espinal. Here comes Garcia Sosa. Through Mwape. Back for Garcia Sosa. Keeping play alive. Stripling outstretched, can't find it. Over for Espinal. Espinal finds for support in Yam. Looking for Wivel. Wivel's pink boots find the white boots of Philip Burnett. Maryland sends a few men into the box on this wing attack. Wivel for Gonzalez. Espinal has both his arms up. He'll get the ball. Off of his head, keeping control for Filerman. One-time Detroit City FC teammates. Espinal puts it into the area, could not connect with Yam. Headed out for a corner kick for Maryland. The next contest for the Maryland Bobcats here at the Soccerplex will be August 12th against the Savannah Clovers. However, their next NISA League action will be 2 games on the road, Michigan Stars and Flower City Union. Espinal on the duties here on this corner kick from the left side of the offensive attack. Filerman running toward him at the top of the penalty box area. And it falls out of play. Chattanooga now. NISA table toppers have had a very solid run of play. Entering today on a 2-game winning streak. Dixon off of his chest and falling for Pusayan. Pusayan pokes it beyond the waiting back line of Chattanooga. Chattanooga judged to have not done that fairly, as they now are able to do the throw-in over the midfield line. Maryland wins the header, loses the ball. Eventually getting it back through Gonzalez. Now Maryland playing the ball wide. Mohamed Conte for Burnett. He was forced into a decision by Nagelstad. As Burnett back for Conte, who tries the long ball. Looking for Abdou Yam. He's being held on the play, and no one's going to call Prepelita on that one. Referee Stephen Foster had a good view of the whole situation and judged that there was no foul on the play. So Prepelita pokes off of Garcia Sosa. Pusayan goes back for his defensive line. Gonzalez down to his feet. Filerman, Pusayan, and Pusayan a nice bicycle kick to keep it away from Chattanooga. Not for long, though. Here's Mwape. Waiting for options to develop, taken off the ball. Nicely by Filerman, who loses it right away to Stripling. Espinal on Stripling. Stripling spins back to his defensive area. Dixon fakes the pass and goes backward again. Prepelita. Once more for Bowers. Now finds Prepelita. And that pass runs long, a throw in for Maryland. Just getting started here, 11 minutes into the contest. Haven't had to say a whole lot about either goaltender Sutton or Antoine in this contest. Both teams have so far had one corner kick, nothing doing on either attack, as it's Nagelstad's touch. Back to the back line for Maryland, a turnover here. And Mwape spins free and finds some space. Dixon looking for something to set up. Perez. Ibarra going wide on the attack. One-on-one with Burnett. Has some support now. As Wivel, last one went off of his boots, and Perez will make the throw. Perez going give and go and ended up having it go away. Abduyam, Malik Tom, up for Wivel, misses the pass. Long ball comes in. Nagelstad loses possession through the header from Conte. Conte puts it behind him. Body position by Gonzalez. And Poussaint boots it away. Alex McGrath with a touch. Keeping it long for Filerman. Abduyam trying to set up something, and they end up having to go backwards for Burnett. Malik Tom for Burnett. Burnett is taken into a decision, gets it past Nagelstad, and this is Alex Sutton's first touch of the match, and he'll send a long ball to the midfield line. Heads collide on the ball, and a foul is awarded here on Maryland, and it looks like we may need an injury substitution. That was a head collision, as this would not be good news for Maryland as the athletic trainer is heading out. That is James Filerman, it looks like, down on the ground. He may need to come off for a little bit, per rules, as he went up for that header. Could not win the ball, as 4 Chattanooga players now take this opportunity to come to their bench and get some water. Opportunity well taken. Alex Cow has taken this chance to educate Malik Tom on a couple of finer points about his position, and now trying to take advantage of the fact that Chattanooga had 4 players at their bench. They send a long ball in for Yam, and right back in it is Alex McGrath to break up the defensive play. Bowers finds Ibarra. Jesus is once again one-on-one with Tom, goes backward for Perez. Back for McGrath. Prepolita. Now Mwape cannot get around a couple of players. Back for Prepolita. Bowers. This has been a difficult move out of the zone here. Abduyam's got it for Maryland. For Espinal. Espinal sends a shot on high and wide. So Jean Antoine, his second goal kick of the contest. Finds Bowers, who will send it long, looking for Nagelstad. The header comes right to Conte's forehead. Appeals for a handball go unanswered, as Maryland gets possession anyway. Filerman looks like he's returned to play. Espinal trying to send Wivel forward. Wivel is bodied off for the ball by Prepolita, and Prepolita escorts this one to the touchline and out for another goal kick. Haitian keeper has made 12 starts so far on this season, being in all the games for Chattanooga. He has all the decisions in the 9-3-0 record, and one of his 3 goals allowed this season was to this Maryland squad, and it's one of the 9 goals that Darwin Espinal, who has the ball now, has on this season. Into the box, cleared out of there by McGrath for a throw-in for the Bobcats. There's a reason Chattanooga has only allowed 3 goals on this season. They are a difficult team to break through defensively. Mohamed Conte, middle of the field. Sends a long ball, looking for it into the box. Prepolita wins the ball and the head. Yam, onto his right foot, onto his left, shot on, oh, just misses! Diving across the face of goal, had Antoine beat, but could not get it to the post. Would have been Abduyam's first goal of this NISA season. Instead, it falls out for a harmless goal kick, as Jean Antoine will. And Andrew Wivel's got a good chance here to make some decisions here. Ibarra. Abdou Yam's chance lasts for Maryland. Up ahead now. Malik Tom puts it down to his feet. Perez bodies him off the ball. Bowers back for Perez. Perez is unimpeded going all the way through, gets it through Burnett, and Ibarra is taken off the ball. Well done by Burnett to run it down. Almost runs out of play. Sutton able to keep it in bound. Balls from McGrath. Dixon back for Bowers. As crisis is averted for Maryland, they almost conceded a corner kick without having to. Crepolita through the middle, back for him after Colin Stripling didn't like any of his options. Dixon harassed into a decision quickly by Wivel, and Stripling back for Dixon. Perez once more. Up ahead, along the touchline goes Ibarra. They're going to be testing Philip Burnett most of today's contest. Now 18 minutes into this, Perez's shot banks off of Burnett and out of play. Another corner for Chattanooga. You wonder what kind of play Chattanooga's got on here, as they've got a short option, as well as a bunch of men inside the 6-yard box. It is about as crowded as a downtown apartment complex over there. Sutton goes all the way out, and he cannot come down with the ball. Ball falls for Nagelstad. Sutton's out of his crease. Well blocked by Forka. Now Wivel. Maryland does not have numbers, but they've got space. Malik Tom running it down. That's Abdou Yam. Sending it into the area. Falls for McGrath, who clears the danger. Nagelstad. And it's back for Prepolita. Furious action here from the Maryland Soccerplex. 19 minutes have been played. We thank you again for joining us. Jean Antoine back for Bowers and back for Prepolita. A huge block from Richard Forker right now is all that separates these squads from a goal, as Sutton was well out to challenge, trying to catch the corner kick, was unable to do so cleanly. Ibarra testing Burnett once more. Burnett's got Gonzalez, but the pass eludes both of them. Falls for McGrath. Perez, McGrath, keeping it alive for Dixon. Back heel touch for McGrath. Ibarra runs it down. Touchline keeps it in. Passes it through. Malik Tom is in on defense on Perez. Keeping it alive here, looking for the head of Nagelstad. Punched out of the air. Chested down. A chance here. Stripling keeping it alive. And Mwape, Stripling puts it high and over. And this one will head all the way to one of the other fields at the Maryland Soccerplex, as some ball boys got to go get that, and I'm glad that's not my job because I don't feel like running. Now Sutton sends everybody forward, as Colin Stripling's bid over the bar was unable to get there. He had a chance on net and put it high and wide. This one goes long, looking for Abdou Yam, and a header collision here. This one's Prepolita going down. As Abdou Yam and Prepolita collide. And it looks like Prepolita is going to be allowed to stay in the contest without a trainer looking at him, as the free kick goes for McGrath. McGrath rolls it for Perez. Stops up. Goes back for Dixon. Dixon finds Ibarra. Back for Dixon. Chattanooga definitely has had the run of possession here in this first half of action, and it's no different now on this nice give and go through Ibarra. Ibarra off of Burnett's back. Falls for Gonzalez, who puts it off the outside of his right foot and puts it back into the midfield where it's taken away. McGrath cannot get it through. as Mbappe, it was just out of his foot's reach. As Nagelstad walks slowly towards Sutton, Sutton finally picks up the ball. He'll roll it toward where the lacrosse goal was set up for this past weekend's tournament. Ends it back for Bowers. Took a funny bounce off of Malik Tom's feet as Bowers has it again. Crepolita for Bowers. Center backs keep content to keep it within themselves as Maryland's midfield shape takes hold. Conte pokes this one up into the air. Perez wins the head over the head of Garcia Sosa. It falls for Josilan Pusayan over Espinal's head, and this is going to run long to touch. Abduyam is making a couple of signs toward his captain. Stadium lights starting to take effect now at the Soccerplex as both teams say it was last off of the other, and instead it falls off of Chattanooga last. So a corner here for Maryland now. A bit unexpected as we enter the 24th minute as Espinal stands over the ball. Maryland's only goal of the season against Chattanooga came on a corner kick play. Espinal puts this one into the box. Forca misses the header, and it goes out for defense. Gonzalez puts a shot on into the goal! Manuel Gonzalez! Goal! What an incredible strike! And it's 1-0 Maryland. Manuel Gonzalez has the corner kick play. It looked like it fell straight to him off of the clearance. Incredible. As a quick water break for Maryland on the bench before Chattanooga starts it off once more. So just like last time at Marine Hendricks Field, Maryland has struck first. And oddly enough, on a corner kick play that Chattanooga really did not need to concede. Tough break for the visitors. We're back underway as Prepolita lines up a long ball. Now Chattanooga once again against Maryland is going to be playing from behind. Nagelstad touches it down. The gifted Norwegian striker leaves it off for Mbappe. McGrath looking to set up his team's leading goal scorer. Filerman well marked against Nagelstad and takes the ball away. Espinal tied for the league lead in goals with the aforementioned Nagelstad. Filerman finds Espinal. And taken down on the play, that's going to be a foul to give possession right back to the Bobcats. As an early goal here in the first half sees Maryland 1 to the good. Pusayan quickly takes the free kick for Forca, who will now get it back for Pusayan to go for Sutton. Conte surveys the scene, has some yards in front of him, opts for a pass, cannot get the ball to Malik Tom. Perez calling it for Bowers. Maryland keeping their midfield shape. Bowers surveys his options. Wivel forces him into a pass. Burnett has a step on his offensive player and boots it all the way over the crowd and out of play into the stands. Ibarra. Header keeps it alive. Garcia Sosa surveys his options, and he's surrounded by 3 Bobcats, so he'll take the side he's not surrounded on and find Perez. Ibarra looking to step over. One-on-one with Burnett, who's done admirably well so far in this game. Header across, not always the best move for a defender to head it across the face of goal, but it ends up working out just fine for Maryland. Dixon puts it right into the chest of Darwin Espinal, who sends a long ball out too far for Abdou Yam to get to. Prepolita will get it to the touchline and stop it. Bowers waits for it to come to him. Finds Garcia Sosa. Wivel and Yam have been the two up front, forcing Chattanooga's backline to make passes. And once again here, Garcia Sosa forces one back to Bowers. Maryland's midfield shape making it difficult to knife through. Case in point, McGrath was unable to collect that ball cleanly. McGrath again, setting up. His passing options do not look great, so he'll try a little bit of changing the angle, keeping it for Perez on the touchline. Philip Burnett has done an admirable job here on the left-hand side of the field, as Chattanooga has opted not to attack James Filerman's right side. So instead, they're coming to Burnett, and the one-time Liberty Flame is doing a great job thus far. Throw-in falls for Maryland here. As I was saying, Burnett has been doing a wonderful job thus far, keeping Chattanooga's offensive opportunities at bay. And here is the aforementioned Burnett on throw-in duties. He's got Wivel, Pusayan, and Gonzalez, the most recent goal scorer. Gonzalez pokes it up ahead, looking for Espinal's chest, finds it. Abdou Yam keeps it alive with his feet. And he has some options, opts to keep possession of it. All the way across, looking, it looks like for Filerman. Espinal making a run, cannot get open for the pass, so Filerman sends it back for Mohamed Conte. Gonzalez at the midfield line. Burnett. Phillip gets around one and has to go back for Gonzalez. Manuel sends it for Forca. And Wape forces the pass. Ends up falling for Espinal, who goes back for Filerman. Filerman puts it into the box looking for Malik Tom's foot. Finds it, and he's taken down at the edge of the area. No foul awarded. Pusayan can't get a body on it. As Garcia Sosa looks to keep control of the shape here. Perez cannot control the ball on the pass as Malik Tom pokes it out of play. One of our photographers will hand the ball back to Perez, who will throw it in for Bowers. We've played a half hour here at Maureen Hendricks Stadium. We thank you again for joining us. I'm Max Walpoff, and on behalf of all of us here at the Maryland Bobcats FC, we thank you for making us part of your Wednesday night entertainment. This ball falls for Espinal. Forca. Back for Gonzalez. Wivel. Spins it off for Burnett. Touchline for Tom. Malik finds Andrew, finds Malik. Malik cutting through now. Malik has some room, has some daylight here, making some men look silly. Wivel cuts it through to Yam and cannot connect for Espinal. Pass was behind him. And Wape loses control to Pusayan. Well done with a scissor stop there. Tom for Wivel. Wivel cuts in. Shot is saved. Antoine jumps back on top of it, and he's the first one there. Richard Dixon was there to box out anybody who might have come for the ball from that side of the area. And Jean Antoine, fortunate there that he couldn't get his mitts around the first chance by Wivel. McGrath finds Dixon. McGrath will now push forward as he goes for Stripling. Garcia Sosa and Stripling now play catch with it. Prepolita for Garcia Sosa. As Maryland's midfield shape has reestablished itself. Effective defense so far for Maryland has Ibarra challenging on the left side again. Perez boots it over the head of Burnett. Towards McGrath into the penalty area. Back out for Ibarra. Ibarra trying to set up Nagelstad for potentially a one-timer play. Unable to do so, gets around Gonzalez into the penalty area. Finds Nagelstad. Touch goes long as Forca was there on defense. Aiden Bowers begs off his defense and will go for it himself. Team captain Dixon back for Bowers. Back for Dixon once again. Perez. Back for Dixon. It's been tough sledding here for Chattanooga to break through this Maryland midfield. They've had to try the left side of the offensive attack. McGrath. Here's a chance now for Chattanooga as they make it down to the right-hand side of their offense, the left side of the Maryland defense. One-on-one with Filerman is Kelvin Mwape. And again, Chattanooga is forced into retreat. Dribbling is taken off the ball and it's out of play. That pass went long. And after that goal for Maryland, Chattanooga has looked a little bit disoriented. And granted, their play is normally very oriented, so being disoriented is a step down from their regular amazing standard to just good. They're still good. Mwape looking to get around Forca, cuts it in. Conte, nice header to get it out of there. Husayan able to have that one fall for Gonzalez. Stripling was there to challenge. They want to get it to Malik Tom, who has his hand up, but ends up falling for Filerman. Goes for Pusayan. Malik Tom is out and open with some space. Gets beyond Perez. Nicely done with his foot to keep it away from Malik. Young striker falling back on defense. Burnett being told to go to Ibarra. Ibarra's got the ball. Ibarra and Burnett, this one-on-one battle has been the case of offense so far for Chattanooga as it's cleared out by Filerman. Falls for McGrath. McGrath cutting through the middle of the field. Cuts to the far side. Now finds Mwape, edge of the area for Dixon. Dixon straight away, looking for Garcia Sosa. Finding Ibarra once again left side. Garcia Sosa. As once again Chattanooga's options come to a standstill and they go backward. Gonzalez makes the steal. Malik Tom, a nice pass around to himself and finds for Burnett. Prepolita, yeah, you can't do that. The 6'4" Moldovan was trying to use his size advantage. As it looks like maybe an athletic trainer is going to be needed to come out here. Yeah, the trainer's being waved on. Referee Stephen Foster waved on the athletic trainer after a heavy challenge from Anatoly Prepolito took out a Bobcat. And Bobcats do lead this game 1-0 off the goal from Manuel Gonzalez. Both teams now taking this opportunity to come for a water break and potentially some instruction from their coaching staff. As it just judging from the players that are upright, it looks like one of the young strikers on the team for Maryland is down as he took a heavy touch. And yeah, he's going to have to come off for a little bit here. Abdou Yam is looking like he has to come off for a moment. Yeah, he looks like he's okay to come back on, but Sutton looks like he's going to stand over this ball and take an elevated goal kick. So Yam looks like he's going to get tended to on the sideline right by the fourth official as Sutton boots this one very deep looking for Espinal. Header is taken away. It falls instead for Filerman. Can't get it to his one-time Detroit City FC teammate. And it'll be escorted all the way to Jean Antoine, who lets it run out of play for a goal kick. And Abdou Yam has returned to the field after a brief absence. So Maryland back to playing 11 on 11. Stripling for McGrath. Looking for Dixon. The slow roller eventually finds him. McGrath runs it down and it's out of play. The pass from Mwape went out. As Maryland substitutes have gone from off the bench and warming up to back to the bench. Sutton, a heavy touch, and it falls for Conte. Comes for Burnett. Maryland defense is in some scramble mode here. Gonzalez pokes it up. Probably didn't get all of that he wanted. Wivel with a nice move to get around McGrath. Cannot get it away from Perez. Bowers as Chattanooga regains control of the play. Crepolita for Bowers. And Prepolita faked the long ball and instead finds it for Bowers once again. Bowers will now try the left side again through the attack. Garcia Sosa. Dixon. Pass was nowhere near where he wanted it to go. Yam spins it for Tom. Some hand fighting and referee rules we get to play on. McGrath looking for Stripling. Stripling able to find Kelvin Mwape. Mwape getting around Filerman, but runs out of space and makes it to the touchline. Bounce off of James last, so Chattanooga keeps the ball on the throw-in. 38 minutes now have elapsed through this NISA League action. Bowers for Prepolita. As the visitors from Tennessee playing a goal down, which is not something they are used to doing. Slip and fall, Wivel nearly had a giveaway there. As Prepolita and Bowers team up to regain control of the possession. McGrath was the one that slipped on the play. Finding it from McGrath again off the feet of Bowers. Garcia Sosa runs into Malik Tom. Backward pass now, Perez. Dixon finds Bowers again, looking for Perez. Garcia Sosa pokes it to himself off his left foot. Keeping along the left, McGrath finds Nagelstad. Pass goes beyond a couple of players. Garcia Sosa looking for Ibarra. Ibarra's got some space. Burnett comes in to close it off. Into the box, looking for a deflection. Can't find it. Up and in. Bouncing ball goes for Alex Sutton, who makes the diving save and will calm things down. Looked like that ball took a bounce off of Richard Forca, and good thing, too, for Maryland, because that ball might have been labeled for the back of the net. Sutton sends everybody forward. He is very fond of his capable right foot. That right foot has produced 1 assist so far this season on a Nicholas Laculia goal. No such luck this time on the offensive end. Garcia Sosa hooks it up for Perez. Ball runs long on him, goes for Bowers. Touch pass for Garcia Sosa is intercepted. Gonzalez, long ball here, looking for Espinal. It finds his foot. Espinal, plenty of goals in that right leg so far this season. Abdou Yam cuts out of the area, looking for options. He has 2 Chattanooga players on him, back for Prusayon, and that may not have been the right move. And Mwape, taken hard off the ball, Abdou Yam wins control, but then gives away the foul, and it looks like a yellow card is going to be shown to the young striker. Indeed it is. First yellow card of the match will go to Abdou Yam. One-time Yukon Husky out of Dakar, Senegal, goes into the book. You can take somebody down the first time and potentially get away with it, but when you go after the ball the second time and take the same person down, Stephen Foster will call that one. So we restart play off the restart. Crepolita's got the ball here. Bowers searching for options, looking once again for Ibarra, and the header is won by Philip Burnett. McGrath and Ibarra team up to take the ball away. McGrath puts it on Conte, the tip. Sutton, the stop. Prevented the ball from going out of play for the corner, and Sutton will send everybody forward. Keeping a low drive. Couldn't find Espinal. Bounce eventually does come to him. Espinal was offside. He runs back onside, but now is going to be called offside on the play. So that long chance, Wivel Poked it just long, and Espinal was already in an offside position as the center backs were keeping a high line. Ends up falling favorably for Chattanooga. Ball comes through. Filerman intercepts. Long first touch. Gets it taken away. Mwape's got it on the far right side. Three abreast at the attack. Mwape cuts in. Gets around Pusayan. Forka comes in. Forces the pass to the middle. McGrath can't control. And Wivel will run through. Malik Tom off his left foot for Abdu Yam. Yam cuts back to the middle where he's got some space. Gonzalez waits, falls for Pusayan, who sends a long pass for Filerman. It's 4 on the attack for Maryland. Reinforcements coming. Espinal pokes it for Filerman to the corner flag. Filerman deep in the offensive end. Waits for options. Finds one in Wivel. Looking for Gonzalez, who has some space. Back for Wivel, for Pusayan for Wivel. Back for Conte as Maryland resets control at their back line. Gonzalez up ahead for Burnett. Now they'll try the right side to create space. Poked out of play. Throw in for the Bobcats. My apologies. Throw in for Chattanooga. Must have ruled it went off of Burnett last. Perez fakes one throw in, steps up, tries another, and gets it headed off of Malik Tom and out of play again. He'll just have to do the throw in once more. For Dixon. Heavy touch. Perez keeps it in at the touchline. And taken off the ball again by Malik Tom. It went off of the Bobcats last. Alex Cow does not agree. But Alex Cow was not the one wearing blue calling for the place to go for balls into touch. Perez taken off of his feet, and referee had his whistle ready to go. Instead, it'll play advantage. Taken away by Espinal off of Garcia Sosa. Garcia Sosa takes it off of Espinal in return. Falling for Mwape as we enter the final couple of minutes of regular time here in the first half. Dixon for Bowers. Perez making it around Tom. Cuts to that left side again. It's Ibarra trying again on Burnett. Ibarra taken off the ball. Philip Burnett has done a really nice job on that touchline. This one bounces off of the shins of Ibarra, so it is a throw in deep in the defensive third for Maryland. I cannot understate the job Philip Burnett has done at that back line. He's done an incredible job keeping Jesus Ibarra off of his game. Last one looked like off of Nagelstad is what the officials rule. Falls for Gonzalez off the throw-in. Burnett chips it long, cannot get it to Yam. Wivel loses the header for Dixon. Mwape heads it over Pusayan for Dixon. Espinal, Wivel, header again for Filerman. Filerman breaks around a couple of players, stiff arm on Mwape. Mwape cannot get the ball. Passed back for Gonzalez. Pusayan as Marcus Nagelstad took a tumble at the midfield line when he was trying to change direction. Gonzalez pokes the ball through for Wivel. We are now entering stoppage time. 2 minutes have been added on as Jean Antoine pokes us one up and goes for the catch. Perez cuts back to his defensive half. Dixon for Perez. One ball comes long. Ibarra has to wait for it to settle down. Once again, one-on-one with Burnett. Flips it up, looking for a head. Cannot find a waiting friendly one. Garcia Sosa as it bounced from McGrath. McGrath now finds Nagelstad. Nagelstad gets around a player, lost the ball, and Conte poked it free for a brief moment. Ibarra. Once again, looking around Burnett. Cannot find it. Perez, miscommunication there. Dixon able to clean it up. Perez. Back again for Bowers, as Chattanooga once again forced into a strategic retreat by Maryland's midfield shape, cutting away on the passing lanes. Garcia Sosa can't find anything he likes on the left side of the offense. Prepolita has his arms up calling for the ball. He eventually gets it. Garcia Sosa surrounded by two Bobcats who both can't get it away. Now comes in for Mwape. Forca running it down off of... It looks like a foul is going to be awarded here on the play instead of the corner or the goal kick. So potentially Chattanooga having a distance free kick here to end the first half. Maryland knows how capable Chattanooga is on these free kick plays. When Maryland went down to Chattanooga and lost at Finley Stadium 1-0, the lone goal for Chattanooga in that game came off of a Marcus Nagelstad free kick, which was much shorter than this distance. Nagelstad is going to be one of the ones making a run here. As two men now stand over the ball, McGrath is going to put this one into the area looking long, and it comes up, headed right in to the gloves of Alex Sutton. Aiden Bowers was the one who got to it. And it looks like that's going to be it for the first half. Maryland comes away with a 1-0 lead as Aiden Bowers needs a little bit of assistance to get to his feet as the first half comes to a close. Well, thank you again for making us part of your Wednesday night entertainment. As we've got another exciting 45 minutes left. Maryland leads by 1, and we'll be back for the second half of action. Don't go far. And welcome back to the second half of action. My name is Max Walpoff. Thank you again for joining us on this Wednesday night. Two substitutions to alert you to before we begin the second half of play, with Maryland holding a 1-0 lead, courtesy of a goal by Manuel Gonzalez. Center back Mohamed Conte has come out for the Maryland Bobcats. He is replaced by Abdallah Mansour, who is also tied for the league lead in yellow cards with 5 with Alex McGrath of CFC. And meanwhile, for CFC, one sub to note: Luis Garcia Sosa, number 19, has come out. Lionel Alvarenga, number 9, has come in. The one-time Cal United striker will be joining in the midfield, as Alvarenga was a starter the last time these two teams came together. He got a yellow card in the last contest between these sides at Marine Hendricks Field. And we're back underway. Let's have some more fun on this Wednesday night. Chattanooga playing from behind 1-0. Mansour, inserted into the game, gets the first header. Pusayan turns one on, and it falls for Alvarenga. The subs early on in the first 15 seconds get their first touches. Colin Stripling coming down the far right side, taking on Darwin Espinal one-on-one. And Filerman, this one is going to run all the way out of play. A goal kick looks like is the call for Sutton. Players now being warned not to come into more contact, as Stripling has some words with Stephen Foster as he exits the playing area. Center backs are short for Maryland, as Sutton looks like he is going to wait, and now he'll send everybody forward for a long kick. Alex Sutton, the one-time Lafayette College keeper, puts his right arm up, swings the right leg, and sends the long ball deep into the offensive half. Backward header from Malik Tom. Stripling with a back heel gets it away. Stephen Foster has to duck out of the way so he can keep an eye on the play. Burnett cannot win the ball, and Perez now has it down the left side, looking for Alvarenga. Alvarenga looking for options, cannot get it to McGrath. Back heel back from Magelstad. McGrath for Mwape. Mwape one-on-one. And head shot. I'm not sure what happened there, but he goes down on the play. Foul awarded in favor of Maryland to keep possession, as Mwape now is finally getting back to his feet. Gonzalez takes the kick quickly. Could not get it to Espinal. Ball falls for Filerman. James finds Darwin, who will find Abdu, and back for Darwin again. Pusayan, the team captain for Maryland, all the way across for Mansour. Mansour, the lone defensive substitution available off the bench, who's a natural D. So it looks like the Maryland backline is going to be set at Burnett, Mansour, Forka, and Filerman, who has the ball now, and it bounces off of the thigh of Mwape. A nice catch on the bench by a CFC player, as Filerman now makes the throw in. Crepolita bodies Abdu Yam off the ball once again. And Mwape getting control. Nagelstad running forward. McGrath back for Alvarenga. Surveys the scene. Ibarra waiting once more. Dixon spins away from pressure, finds Perez. Now one-on-one Ibarra versus Burnett. This has been the left-on-left side, as Burnett pokes it out of play. Throw in for Chattanooga. Perez will be the one on duty for this one. We've played now 3 minutes here in this second half of action. We again thank you for being part of your Wednesday night, as Chattanooga runs this one back into their defensive half. Anatoly Prepolita. Earlier across, finding Ibarra again. Header comes down. Mansour is the first one to it. Send a long and high one. Abdu Yam doesn't have to do much as this one falls away. Dixon. And it will roll all the way back to Jean Antoine. Jean Antoine has conceded his 4th goal of this season, and this in the 13th match of the season. That's really good. Chattanooga not used to playing from behind on this season, as the stadium lights have started to take full effect with the natural sun setting in the west behind us. Dixon, lighted off the ball. Abdu Yam's got it on the deflection. He's taken it off the ball again. Dixon running forward. Dixon, the team captain, splitting the defense, taken out down on the play, and a yellow card comes out for the recent sub Abdallah Mansour. So now a free kick a few yards away from the penalty area as Mansour gets his 6th yellow card of the season, who moves one ahead of Alex McGrath of CFC for the league lead in yellow cards. Several players are tied at the 5 yellow card spot, but now Mansour stands alone with 6. Good sized crowd on hand here at Marine Hendricks Field has given us a lively atmosphere thus far. As Marcus Nagelstad looks like he's going to be the one standing over the ball with Alex McGrath. And Kelvin Mwape making discussion. The referee has marked off where the disappearing spray is going to go, and he will direct the Maryland wall to go right into the handle of the penalty area. Chattanooga has a couple of runners to the offensive left, defensive right. Nagelstad, a long run back heels to him, indirect on, rolls into the area. Prepolita falls into the arms of Sutton. What a save! Alex Sutton keeps it scoreless for Chattanooga. Long throw as he opts to keep play going quickly. James Filerman runs it down, and a heel touch here. And Mwape cannot get onto it. Fusayan pokes it away. Maryland's defense is allowed to reset itself. It looked like Lionel Alvarenga had a chance on net, and Alex Sutton made the save and dived on top of the rebound. Aiden Bowers for Anatoly Prepolita. And well, Gonzalez's second goal of this season is all that separates these two sides. Turnover here to Fusayan, back for Espinal. Gets away from Stripling. Finds a pass for Mansour. All the way up, Wivel headed on. Abduyam can't get the rundown. Bowers pokes it away for Perez, who will find it back for Jean-Antoine. Prepolita again surveys the scene. And it's turned over right into the feet of Andrew Wivel, and it comes right back to him. Prepolita finds Stripling. Stripling finds Bowers, skipping Prepolita. Running free now. Ibarra taken off the ball nicely. Richard Forca doing the honors this time. Filerman, a long ball here. Looking for Malik. Tom finds him. Tom comes back to the defensive line area, finding Gonzalez. Burnett. Burnett turns it right back. Nagelstad waits, finding a cutter. Ibarra taken off the ball. He keeps it in. But looking for Nagelstad, pass was too short, and Forca has it for Maryland, keeping control. Hard foul on the play, and Maryland is going to maintain possession now. A hard foul in the defensive half as Alex McGrath, he's going to avoid his 6th yellow card of the season on that play. I'd imagine Stephen Foster gave him a bit of a talking to there to avoid any more dangerous fouls like that. So an elevated goal kick here, it'll appear for Alex Sutton as he strikes it on the other end of the other box. Ball goes long, won by Prepolita, falls for Burnett, bounces off of Tom. Perez has it. Perez didn't like his long options, keeps it short for Dixon. Stripling bounces over his foot, he maintains control. And Mwape cannot get to the ball fast enough. Filerman pokes it free for Yam. Over for Filerman again. Filerman tries the shot on it. Goes to the side netting. James Filerman once more trying for goal and is unable to get it on. Filerman's got 3 assists on this young season, but is yet to get his first goal. And he came so close on that attempt. Alvarenga making a run here. Finding McGrath. McGrath turns, gets to his right foot in Mwape. And Mwape cuts to his left foot now. Moving it in, Alvarenga finds Ibarra. Ibarra is free. He's got some room and soar with a block. Andrew Wivel uses a pick play from Malik Tom. Hard foul. Nope, no call coming. And now the call comes. That took a little bit of time for Stephen Foster to call the foul. as Wivel went down on the play. Last time out between these two sides at this field, Maryland scored first, and in a 10-minute span comprising the 70th to the 80th minute, Chattanooga took over the play in such a way Maryland could not keep up. Nagelstad's got it. He was the one that got the party started for Chattanooga last time here. Mwape cutting through, knifes right into the teeth of the Maryland backline as they compact the midfield and the center backs. Perez, long pass for Ibarra. Ibarra, penalty box extended, cuts into the area, headed out of play. Forca, he didn't know Sutton was behind him, going for that ball as it's conceded for a corner kick for the visitors from Tennessee. McGrath looks like he's going to be the one to walk this one to the corner spot as Alvarenga is close by. Everybody for Chattanooga packed into the 6-yard box, a save for 3 defenders and the short option Alvarenga. Cross comes in, it falls. Who was it off of? Off of Maryland last, another corner kick for Chattanooga. They're going to try this again, everybody inside the 6-yard. McGrath puts up his left hand, walks 4 steps backward, and waits for his options. Left hand goes up, ball comes in, ball goes well long across the face of goal. It's falling down. Sutton dives back on top of it. Well done for Sutton to come back in relief of his back line as he dove out instead, missing the first one, came back for the second one. It looked like blocks from Forca and Mansour as Sutton will now send everybody forward. Long ball deep into the area, and it cut all the way into the offensive third at the penalty box area. Espinal sends a quick throw in here. Wivel. Those two have teamed up well for goals in the last couple of games. Gonzalez pokes the ball away. Abdou Yam cuts back to his left foot. Back for Yam. Yam to his right. Cannot get a shot away. Taken down, and the referee's going to say that was not a foul. We play on. Ibarra. Long pass. Finds Mwape. Mwape settles the bouncing ball. Finding in, looking for Nagelstad, and well headed out by Abdallah Mansour. That was one-on-one with Nagelstad and Sutton if he misses that header. Alvarenga hunting for more options. Stripling. Back for Mwape on the far right. Mwape taken off of the ball. And Gonzalez finds a pass. It goes short. Espinal eventually gets there. Espinal uses his arms to create some space, but the pass goes long. Head coach Rod Underwood comes out to hand the ball to Anatoly Prepolita and keep play moving. And everybody takes a chance to breathe now in the 58th minute. Maryland leads by 1. And Chattanooga, plenty of offensive firepower on their team. They can take points away from this game just as fast as Maryland scored their first goal. Alvarenga, halftime sub, off for Stripling. Pass again, Prepolita keeps it along the line for Bowers. Prepolita doesn't like anything on his right, goes back to his left for Bowers to try his luck. Ibarra one-on-one against Tom. He wins that one. McGrath taken down. No foul coming. Alvarenga now. Referee opting to play the advantage. Mwape one-on-one on the right side. Mwape cuts to the middle, cuts across, blocked on, and Nagelstad couldn't get one to there, but it'll be a corner for the visitors. You wonder how many more of these chances Maryland can give away without getting burned. Chattanooga, they are very capable on these set pieces. This time 2 hands go up for McGrath. You wonder if this is a slightly different alignment than the first one. As a couple of Stephen Foster's going to usher a couple of people out of their areas. Prepolita and Forca look like they're getting into it. It's just verbal admonishment at this point. No cards are going to be issued just yet. As Foster now sends them back to whence they came. Here comes the whistle. 2 arms go up. McGrath serves it to the box. Over the bar. Took no touches. Sutton will have the goal kick. We've played now 60 minutes of action. And Maryland holding on to a tenuous lead off of the foot of Manuel Gonzalez, his second goal of this season, as we are at the halfway point of the season. And right now, Maryland sits in third in the NISA table. Chattanooga pretty secure in that first spot, although not if Albion San Diego has anything to say about it. Now 6 points back in second. And Wape off of the body of Wivel, 22-on-22 hit, as Pusayan pokes it up. Bowers is the only one there to receive. Bowers the long ball. Sutton is going to be instructed to handle this one. And he will roll back, keep this one out of his mitts until forcing into a decision by Marcus Nagelstad. Along the touchline, Filerman keeping it alive, getting away from Mwape, sends a long ball. Abduyam, no communication there, was not able to run down it. And Jean-Antoine rolls it across the face of goal for Aiden Bowers. Dixon for Bowers. Long shot here. Taken away, Abdellah Mansour well teamed up to keep that ball away from the running Alvarenga. Long ball here as Yam cannot win control. Abduyam at 6 foot gives up 4 inches to the back line of Anatoly Prepolita at 6'4", and that size can prove a decisive advantage on headers just like that. Colin Stripling surveys his options, moves forward, able to find the running Alvarenga. Alvarenga one-on-one with Pusayan at the edge of the penalty area. He'll cut back across the top of the box, taken down and no foul coming. Filerman waits for options, finds Wivel, and a hard tackle here as Wivel goes down. Wivel comes right back up. He looks like he's all right to continue. Espinal rushed into a decision. Goes back for Sutton. Sutton, he's going to be forced into a play here by Nagelstad. Pass is given away. Poked on, and Sutton runs it down. No foul on McGrath, even though a hand did come onto his shoulder. As it looks like Jocelyn Pusayan got away with one there. As Richard Dixon, I think he's going to inform Stephen Foster of his opinion on the matter. Sutton at the edge of the 6-yard. Puts up his right hand and will boot it deep. Ball comes all the way for Espinal, who, not necessarily the greatest defensive move there. He had nobody within 10 yards of him. Finds Abduyam. Yam looking for options. Cannot find any worth passing to. Took a deflection off of Yam's foot as this one heads for Chattanooga. Alvarenga for Dixon. Back for Bowers. Chattanooga playing through that back line again. Dixon. Back for McGrath. Back for Bowers. Prepolita. Bowers again. Found Alvarenga, but not a whole lot of options there. Perez. As now Chattanooga looks like they're going to try the right side this time. Pass did not go as planned for McGrath. Long ball, Burnett running it down. Ibarra looks like he'll win possession. Now Chattanooga trying that thing again where they go down the left side of their attack and set up the center cross. Burnett is going to be able to win this possession as Bowers, he has to take this one. McGrath runs back to the left, avoids the slide tackle. Alvarenga looking for Perez. Perez has Ibarra and Nagelstad as striker options here. Bounces off of a heel, goes for Malik Tom, who sends it long. Bowers as it looks like Tunde Akinlosotu is going to be subbed in for Maryland, as Pierre Richard will also be coming in, as some movement at the bench indicates some changes coming. Free kick conceded on a foul by Pusayan, and now some arm fighting with he and Alvarenga. As yet another long free kick coming for Chattanooga. Wonder if they'll be allowed to make the substitution now or are going to have to wait until after the free kick. As Stephen Foster is going to escort the captain Jocelyn Pusayan to talk away from the fray. It's just a talking to. It doesn't look like a foul has been given or a yellow card. Would not be the first time Maryland's captain has been carded this season. As once again, this is going to be a deadly change here for Nagelstad to come in and see what he can do. Nagelstad, Mwape, and McGrath are the three that are currently over the ball, as McGrath just says something and walks away. The wall has been set, no substitutes have been made, so Richard and Akin Lesotho are going to have to wait. Direct chance, Nagelstad walks up, takes it high, and scores! Brilliant shot, Marcus Nagelstad for his 10th of the year. His league-leading 10th goal of the year has tied this contest. And this was the fear for Maryland. You let Chattanooga hang around often enough, they're good for one goal every match. Tough break for Maryland, as it looks like the two subs will now get a chance to be made as Espinal comes off. And he'll be replaced by Tunde Akin Lesotho, number 80, as Andrew Wivel will also come off and be replaced by Pierre Richard. So Espinal's night is done at 66 minutes of action, as he is relieved by Aquinas Tunde Akin Lesotho. And Maryland now has to do something they have not done so far this season, score twice against Chattanooga. And looks like that goal has given Chattanooga some life. They are running deep into Maryland's hearts right now. Taken away, Mwape. Foul from Prusayan gives possession away. Maryland Bobcats have defeated Chattanooga FC before in their franchise's history. Came back in October of 2021. They actually defeated Chattanooga twice, once in NISA League play and once in a club friendly between the two sides. McGrath back for Bowers, as Chattanooga now playing with pace and energy following the free kick by Marcus Nagelstad into the address box. Akin Lesotho. Richard puts it up into the air. Dixon falls down, has it with a head. Mansour sends a header right back. Mansour running it down. Nagelstad giving him chase. As the traveling Chattanooga fans have taken the moment after their hero's goal to suddenly become annoying here at the Maryland Soccerplex. Into the 69th minute of action. I know what I said. McGrath waiting for options to develop, running one-on-one with Forka. Pulls the defender, now finds the pass for Mwape. Mwape into the area. Sutton comes out into the chest. Rolls it for Richard, who wants some space. He has plenty of running room. That running room is now slowly being closed by McGrath. Akin Lesotho. Long first touch. And Prepolita uses his body and arms to get away. No foul on that one. Okay. I echo the sentiments of Alex Cow, which I can hear. How was that not a foul? fairness to Stephen Foster, his standard, he hasn't called that a foul at various points throughout this match, so at least it is fair, even if by the letter of the rules it is incorrect. Stripling for Prepolita. Once again, Maryland has conceded a goal to Chattanooga. That is the third time in 3 games that Marcus Nagelstad, who has the ball now, has scored against the Bobcats. He scored the first goal for Chattanooga in each of the last 2 contests, and now this one the third. Alvarenga for Mwape. Mwape was the one who had the winner the last time these 2 teams met. Bowers. Midfield stripe, back for Prepolita. Stripling. Stripling up ahead, Mwape, he's onside. One-on-one with Pusayan, gets around him, into the touchline, across the face of goal, falls down, and Nagelstad can't turn and shoot. Alvarenga pushes it on, nicely blocked, 6-yard box. Chattanooga still has it, McGrath. Maryland forces him outside the box. Nagelstad, handlebar of the area, and Mwape it finds for him. Shot on, save made, rebound, Forca pushes it out, corner kick on the near side of the field. Dangerous moments there. And the danger is not abated just yet. Looks like it'll be Mwape at the corner flag to take this. A different play set up here for Chattanooga from this near side, as it's just Nagelstad looking like he'll be running through the 6-yard. Now comes back to the 18. Short option, McGrath. McGrath along the touchline, and Mwape sends it through for Perez. Now finding again as Forca's taken hard down inside the box, and it'll just be a foul as McGrath is not happy about that one. Stephen Foster's having a hard time in the midfield right now. He's trying to handle dissent from both the team captain Dixon as well as from Alex McGrath for that foul. Gonzalez, the Maryland goal scorer, gives the pass away. Stripling gets it away from Akin Lesotu. Forca headed up. Richard, body position, wins control. Akin Lesotu. Pusayan, Wivel. Now for Gonzalez. It's 23, not 22. He's been subbed out. My bad. Malik Tom making some runs here with some speed. Has Burnett win support. Goes for him. The right back gets into the box. Fires a shot over the bar. Abdou Yam just missed his mark there, spinning around on his left foot. Abdou Yam once again could not get that one to fall on net, and it ends up going high for a Jean-Antoine goal kick. The center backs are back for the short option. Bowers threads the pass through. Michard cuts it off. Maryland now back on offense in their offensive third. Pass comes through. Akin Lesotu scored in the last game for Maryland into the penalty area. Into the box. Filerman runs it down. Out of play. Danger averted for Chattanooga as Akin Lesotu's pass went too long for Filerman to run it down. 74th minute of action. We are 3/4 of the way done with this contest of regular time. By the time 9 o'clock rolls around, we'll be getting into stoppage time. Throw in for Chattanooga on this clear, cloudless night. From Boyd's, Maryland, we thank you again for being part of your Wednesday night entertainment. A rare long kick from Jean-Antoine. Finds the feet of Ibarra. Going for McGrath. Alvarenga. Back for McGrath. Had options with Dixon, opted to go for Bowers. Prepolita passes it for Dixon. Pass goes short. Bowers runs it through. Sending a long bid for Alvarenga. McGrath again. And Mwape cannot get there before Forca. Forca off his right foot. And it falls instead for McGrath. Richard up against Alvarenga. Lionel will find Colin. For Alex, back to Colin Stripling. Bowers once again. As the table toppers for Nisa, currently looking to extend their undefeated run this season. They have not lost since the playoffs of 2022. Trepolita. Bowers. Bowers making some space, finding Perez. Perez again at his midfield stripe. Dixon, and back for Bowers. Now Prepolita, as Chattanooga swung their offense to the left, and they'll keep it more in the middle of the field here. Stripling has to rush that one as Akin Lesotho made him make a decision. Pass comes all the way through for Mwape. Nagelstad making a run in. Mwape cuts around Forka, cuts it through. Pass gets broken up. Bowers. Chattanooga continuing to push the pressure. Passes it in. Nagelstad from free play. A shot on. Took a block. Corner kick for Chattanooga. Richard Forka spilled out to block that one. As it looks like Makalaki Nkoye is going to be the next one to come on for Maryland. Eventually. And instead, Maryland is going to make a quick switcheroo. Looks like they're going to try to bring on a striker as well. Nicholas Laculia is walking over to the fourth officials table as Chattanooga sends everyone into the penalty area for this corner kick. Sutton makes the grab at the goal line. Rolls it forward. Maryland's got some space if they can move quickly. Akin Lesotho moving on to his right foot. Akin Lesotho for Pusayon. Tried to touch it back and everybody falls down as they all try to change directions. Lack of communication there breaks down for Maryland as a promising attack instead turns into a Chattanooga possession. Ibarra once again up against Burnett. Burnett doing a great job on that left side, keeping control of Ibarra. Falls for Alvarenga. Can't get the pass through for Nagelstad. Stripling foots it for Mwape. Mwape on. Sutton makes a good save, keeping the ball in his chest. The Manhattan-born keeper sends everybody forward as Akinkoye and Laculia look like they're going to be the ones to come on for Maryland. Chattanooga has only made one substitute so far, as they might be looking to crowd all their substitutes into the last 10 minutes. Prepolita heads the ball down on the long kick from Sutton. Falls for Mwape, chests it for Alvarenga. Alvarenga is taken off the ball. Akin Lesotho could not catch up to it. Ball falls for Richard. Stolen here. Abdou Yam making his way into the penalty area. Abdou Yam cuts to his left foot, puts it on. Tipped by Antoine, and it rolls out for a corner kick. Substitutions now for Maryland. As Laculia and Akinkoye are going to come on. As Maryland looking to push pace and pull into the lead on this corner kick. As Malik Tom looks like he's coming off in favor of Laculia. And Abdu, it looks like Josilin Pusayan is coming off for the midfield as well. So Pusayan comes off for Akinkoye, and Laculia comes on to replace Malik Tom. Into the area, falls. Burnett sends a header on over and away. Just wide. CFC substitute puts this one into the hands of Antoine. So the captain's armband has been handed over to Richard Forka for the final 22 minutes and change here. As this ball goes well long for Burnett, header on. Getting it through to Akinkoye, his first touch. Pass runs long, and it ends up being a throw-in for Chattanooga in there at the edge of their offensive third. Chattanooga still looking dangerous as ever as we enter the 80th minute of action. Any chance to steal points from the table topper is always a good sign for any team below them. However, Maryland once again able to score first against Chattanooga, but gives up a goal late in the second half. Nagelstad has pulled into the lead in the NISA table for the 10th goal of the season in the Golden Boot race. Darwin Espinal is off, so he is unable to add to his 9, as it looks like a foul is going to be awarded in favor of Chattanooga off of Akinkoye's challenge of Dixon. Ibarra puts it through. Nagelstad decks it down, and Nagelstad will give possession back over to his left-hand side. Perez switching off with Alvarenga. Perez, edge of the area, looking for Nagelstad. Chests it down, and no penalty going to be awarded there. Player goes down right at the edge of the area. Immediate safe sign given by our match official, Stephen Foster. He had a much better look at that than I did, that's for sure. And Wape cannot keep control of the bouncing ball. Forca for Gonzalez, the goal scorer for Maryland, sends a pass along here, looking for Laculia. Laculia settles it into the area. Akinkoye making a run. Laculia cuts in, big block by Bowers. Gonzalez, about where he scored the last one from, blocked again. This one falls for Nagelstad. Hard and heavy, frantic action here from the Maryland Soccerplex as it comes all the way back for Alex Sutton, finding Richard Forca. Gonzalez, Richard, Abduyam, keeping control for the Bobcats. Filerman puts it through. Akin Lesotho. Gonzalez, over and across for Burnett. As we enter 82 minutes and going on 83. Kulia, Burnett, touchline, and it's going to roll through. Chattanooga's got control of it at the byline. Off of Maryland, this is going to be a goal kick now. As it looks like a substitution is going to come on. Juan Luis will come on for Chattanooga. He is a natural forward, and it looks like he's going to replace Kelvin Mwape. So Kelvin Mwape comes off. So it will not be a precise repeat of the last contest between these two teams, as Mwape was the one that scored the lead goal there. As Antoine puts this one into the area, and up in the blender, header is lost by CSC at first, keeping control on the rebound. So this is an interesting formation change here, as Luis a natural forward and Mwape a listed midfielder. Laculia shot on over! I don't know if that was last touch by Antoine. It was. Corner kick. Nicholas Laculia has come on. He's been a spark plug in that forward core. As Laculia looks like he's going to be the one to head over and take care of corner kick duties. Maryland keeping a high defensive line. Everybody back to defend for Chattanooga in the 84th minute. Do we have a late winner potentially here from the Soccerplex? Outswinging corner comes in. Nagelstad heads it away. Richard mishandles it, and back for Sutton. The capable foot of Alex Sutton sends this one long. Player for Maryland was offside. It's played. Jean Antoine's got it. He's well out of his area. Stripling, and Maryland is now going to be called for offside. Chattanooga played the ball. I'm not sure what the rule says about that, but all right, whatever. First touch for Luis goes long, and Forca escorts it to the touchline for a throw. Ball goes in, finding Akinkoye. With his right foot, back for him. Akinkoye can't make the rundown on it. Bowers for Stripling. Both teams want to push for this victory. Filerman pokes it, back for Juan Luis. Juan Luis, Alvarenga. Lionel moves it through into the area. Alvarenga into the penalty box. Richard keeping control. Now Stripling. Alvarenga gets to it. Stripling again. Alvarenga. Surrounded by three Bobcats. Now Stripling once more. Juan Luis runs it down right at the byline. Keeping it through. Looks like it was off of Maryland last. Corner kick awarded. And the match official has overruled the assistant referee. All right, that's rare. Stephen Foster overrules Richie Reyes, and it ends up being a goal kick for Sutton, as a sigh of relief can be breathed by the Bobcats fans in attendance, and understandably so, CFC fans wondering where that is. So Sutton puts up an arm and puts the ball into the air, well long, into the offensive midfield. Falling through now. CFC comes down with the ball, not for long. Filerman loses it. Chance here. Sutton dives out, stops the play. Get all ball here, making the throw. Filerman. It is a frenetic pace here from the Soccerplex. Filerman pulls up. Juan Luis was the one forcing him to a decision there, finding Akinkoye. All the way across, passes behind a friendly player, and Maryland cannot control this one. A giveaway throw-in. For as much as Maryland would like to push for the win, you do need standings points, and taking away anything from the table toppers would be good, but you want great. Juan Luis, Nagelstab making a run. He comes out for the ball. Back heel, and that went nowhere. I correct myself. That went into Sutton's gloves. Sutton is going to send everybody forward as we enter the final 3.25 minutes of time before we are into the stoppage time minutes called for by our fourth official, Ala Stepanov. Deep ball here as Sutton came all the way out into the midfield area to get this one all the way to Jean Antoine. Edge of his penalty area makes the throw across for Bowers. Cutting it through. McGrath. Back to his midfield spot. McGrath inside the half field circle. Stripling finds Luis. On Louis, looking for options. Stripling. That's Ibarra. Ibarra again, coming all the way in his off wing. Back for Stripling. Bowers. Perez. Perez once again gets it on the give and go all the way to the byline. Goal kick. Final 2 minutes of regular time. Sutton looking to set up a quick play here and send this one long into the offensive half. Sutton once again lines it up, sends it long. Header won by CFC, down to their feet. The visitors in white have the ball. Referee playing advantage after some hand jostling. Juan Luis, one-on-one against Filerman. Filerman loses that one and runs along, and a foul is awarded. Maryland can complain all they want about this one. Chattanooga's got their chance here in the final minute of regular time. A free kick right by the touchline. Chattanooga already has 1 point, as 2 minutes of stoppage time are going to be added by our fourth official, Ala Stepanov. And they'll come at the end of this free kick. McGrath leaves it for Alvarenga, running shot. Perez boots it into the area. Header won by Maryland. Handball, though. Gonzalez won the ball with it just into his armpit area. Looks like a foul. Offside. My apologies. A hand went up. I thought it was handball because it went into the crook of Manuel Gonzalez's elbow. But instead, offside is Chattanooga. And now Sutton, at the edge of his 18-yard box, has a chance to send this ball along and set up the Maryland attack. We are now into the final 2 minutes of stoppage time. Ball goes past. Who was that off of last? It was off of Chattanooga last. It looked like Prepolita or Stripling were the last ones to touch it. So a corner kick here for Maryland. Abdu Yam is going to be the one doing the honors here. The one-time UConn Husky, a unanimous All-AAC first team in 2018. Although 2018 feels like a long time ago. Maryland keeping everybody at the 18-yard box. 3 men are set inside the 6-yard for Chattanooga. Forco makes a run. Ball comes in. Antoine goes out, gets a hand on it. Shot comes on. Shot goes wide. Jean Antoine gets away with one as a last-minute substitution is going to come on for Chattanooga. As it looks like it's Sebastian Capizzucci is going to come on. This might be the last action of the contest, as Capizzucci is looking like he's going to replace, I think, I can't exactly tell, but it looked like Jesus Ibarra coming off. So an extra defender coming on. Yeah, Ibarra coming off. It's Capizzucci coming on. Header one off the goal kick by Maryland, poked out of play. A lot of what could have beens and what might have beens for both squads tonight, as we are firmly into the discretion of our match official, Stephen Foster, to see how much longer we go. Nagelstad can't catch up with